Hey, what's up, Jocelyn and Carrie? How are you?
Doing
I'm good.
great.
How are you?
I'm good. We're at mid rainy season in Nosara, and actually the wind's offshore, and the waves have been small and clean, more like a dry season day as opposed to a rainy season. So I'm happy. I've been surfing like crazy and just having a pretty good time. How about y'all?
We're doing great here. The riding school is going really well. A lot of people are on vacation, but we have lots of kids that are coming in the morning, and it's great being able to teach in the mornings and have good classes going. So we're enjoying the weather.
Hey, by the way, congratulations on all of that and Playa Ponies and the whole setup. Because Carrie, I remember when that started, and I just remember thinking she is out in the middle of nowhere. Like back in the day, remember really North
Yeah,
Colada and really South Guiones, it seemed like it may as well be Egypt. Like Guiones Beach Club was like over there.
Yeah,
And now it's so normal.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, congratulations. Jocelyn, where are you in the world right now? And I'm guessing you're coming back to Nosara soon because I normally see you on the water every morning and I haven't seen you for the past couple of days.
Yeah. No, I'm back in Canada, working on some summer scheduling with our students, and making some plans for the fall. So this is kind of where this is coming to.
Perfect segue for the episode. So, what's happening this
Yeah.
fall? I know you're up to something, and I also know a lot of things are going on school wise in the area. So, there's no shortage of kids compared to years past, and they need
Yeah.
education. So that's where you guys come in, and let's begin your episode. Are you ready?
We're ready. Let's do it.
All right. So, tell me what's going on. Actually, introduce the company again real quick and yourselves in case somebody
Sure.
didn't hear our last episode or they're not familiar, and then we'll go straight into your upcoming, well, everything. Let's go.
Sure. So I'm Jocelyn Mann. I am originally from Canada. I've been coming to Nosara for 10 years, working with different students in different capacities at schools, in small groups, independently. And then that bled into the beginning of my business, Soul Academics, where we work with small groups of children, homeschooling, whether they're working in an online school, whether they need some support catching up in a certain subject area. So individual classes, we have a team of educators and specialists that work with different students at their different grades. And now Carrie kind of tapped me on the shoulder a few months back and was like, Jocelyn, can you start a school? And I was like, no. And then after many meetings and hours of conversation and coffees and all of that and lunches, Carrie and I kind of have bled in and come together to formulate a learning center in Nosara, which we'll get into in a few minutes.
All right. So, Carrie, let's bounce over to you. Because I didn't know you from the school side of things. And when we met, this is pre-kids and all this type of stuff. So uh, here you are in this podcast and we're reconnecting. Tell us how you got involved and what's going on from your perspective.
Sure. Honestly, I am not that involved in it. And that's why I contacted Jocelyn. But I'm a mom. And, I've been constantly thinking about searching, worrying, trying to decide what is the best education for my daughters. I have two daughters, and Myelin, who's the oldest, is kind of at the forefront. She's been in a program that is not accredited. And I just kind of knew that now's the time. She needed to start something. I wanted Spanish to be something that was really prevalent in our life. We speak Spanish at home, but if she did go to university in Costa Rica, which I really hope she does, that she really has to be, able to read and write in Spanish and be very, very fluent in it. So that was something that's very important to me. And like I said, the flexibility, or I had said earlier, the flexibility of being able to take a program and maybe travel. She's really into competitive horseback riding. It's called 3-day eventing. And so sometimes we're traveling and doing shows in different parts of Costa Rica. And so being able to take a program, a homeschool based program, and continue with that while we're traveling has been something important to us as well. So I contacted Jocelyn and I said, "What are you doing? Can you help us out?" And she said, "Yeah, I can help." She didn't have school going, and that's how this all kind of came together. I knew that if I was looking for something like this for my kids, that I know other people were looking for something, and that's how we brought this together. And it's going to be happening at Playa Ponies, so that's kind of my involvement. Yeah.
Very interesting. So can I try to say it back in my
Yeah.
pea-brain short version interpretation? Here's
Yeah.
what I'm hearing. For Jocelyn, she didn't want to start a school. There's already some schools, and that wasn't what she was trying to do. She's been working on a level with kids that might need some extra help, or they might be traveling, or it's a setup where people are moving around, but they still want to have an education for the kids. And then you live here all the time, obviously, but you also travel a bunch too. So it's that same situation of I may be here full time, but you're not technically here. You're over there, and the standard school setup isn't necessarily the right fit. So Jocelyn was somebody you thought could fill in that void at a much higher level than she had been previously. And although she resisted at first, it sounds like she's now on board. So Jocelyn, back to you. What changed your mind?
Well, I've never had an interest or a desire or dream to have my own school. I've really seen firsthand the benefits of one-on-one and small group support, whether that is supplementing a program for kids who are below level in certain areas, or they need more challenges to better their academics. And so when Carrie had come to me and we were speaking more just about her child and where she was at, and then I kind of went back to her and I was like, wait, though, what I'm hearing more from families around Nosara is that there needs to be something that is providing accreditation for that middle school, high school area when, students' grades and marks really start to make a difference and open that door to further education as they get into, college and university. And so that's kind of where I guess my mindset shifted a little bit. And I was like, okay, what can I do as an educator to help the community as best I can and provide something that me and Carrie feel that the community needs at this time. And so that's kind of where I came, I guess, back on board.
It's almost like the town just did it itself, because you filled a role that was working privately and more independent, whether a student was behind or advanced. That wasn't your thing. You were independent and private and close knit because it seems like a lot of teachers, you're working from your heart, and you were really into it, and running an administration was like took you away from doing what you wanted to. That's how I interpreted when I first met you and started talking about this. Then yeah. I guess the school situation has also changed. The schools aren't the same. Some are closing. I don't know what we're allowed to politically say, but whatever the truth is, one of the schools apparently is not going to be here or is closing. Is that correct? Am I allowed to ask you that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the exact, logistics, so don't quote me on it, but I've heard that one of the schools is no longer going to have a middle school section. And a number of those parents had reached out to myself and my business just saying, kind of, in a pinch, like, what are we going to do? And I've met with a number of families prior to even Carrie chatting with me of like, can we do something for these kids? Because there's nowhere for them to go. And that was kind of actually the first spark. And then Carrie was another person that kind of tapped us on the shoulder and was like, hey, open a school. I'm like, no.
So Carrie, we got to come back to you now, because Carrie, you're the one who pushed her over the cliff far enough to get the snowball to happen. Is that right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, thank you. The community owes you one then, because it's needed. She didn't want to do it, but I guess if I was in Jocelyn's shoes, finding a location and creating administration and all those types of things, that would be, pretty scary when that wasn't her goal. She just wanted to educate and do what she loves. But you stepped in and are giving her a platform, a location, and speaking from your heart because it's your own kids. And am I understanding the vibe? Is this what's happening?
Totally. Yes. That's I think 100% what's going on. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks to both of you. That's fantastic. So tell me exactly what you're doing, and let's go to the next step. What do you want people to know? And let's use this platform for whatever you need it for. Like, fill me in.
So I think first off, we should say it's not a traditional school. It's a learning center. So every kid will be able to bring their own accredited program. And where Jocelyn is really helping is with looking at those programs, working with the parents, finding the right teachers for the program, supporting, and she's just an incredible creator as well. So my youngest is starting kindergarten, and she was a little behind in some areas, and she created this beautiful program which we've been doing, and she's so inspirational, and it's just very it's very concise and very easy to apply. So she's already worked with my daughter Mylin in the past, and that's kind of how I was like, it's just got to be Jocelyn.
I got you. All right, so we're sold on the Jocelyn part. Now we need to figure out what Jocelyn's doing and what y'all are doing. What's next? Like we're as we record this, we're like mid coming up to late July. So what's next for you? And again, use the platform right now to say whatever information you want out there. It sounds like we have a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah. So Carrie said it perfectly. It's not a traditional school. It's a learning center where children in middle school and high school can bring their own accredited classes, program, online school, homeschool, whatever that might look like, to the learning center, where we have specialists and teachers to help facilitate those programs. And the reason why, well, there's two things. The reason why we're saying accredited is because personally, myself and my teachers under Soul Academics have run into the problem of when students get into that middle school, high school stage, and they're not doing accredited classes or program or homeschool, and they go back to whatever country they may be from, and they try to get into another school, college, they come back to us and say, oh my gosh, like I can't get in, or I have to they have to do this big entrance exam, and they didn't, they couldn't get in because they were really behind. And so I literally just talked to a family this last week about this exact thing. And the mom had said, I will never not did ever again, because the amount of paperwork that she had to complete in order to just register her child for one simple class was outrageous. And so this is why, number one, we're asking, students to be accredited. From my experience and my team's experience, when we don't do accredited, it does close those doors as they get into the higher grades, and then obviously, in the foreseeable colleges or university, if children so choose to do that. So yes, accredited programs for middle school and high school kids, or classes, whatever that might look like. And then in addition to that, I had said to Carrie, listen, Carrie, part of my big philosophy and mission, excuse me, as an educator, is to make sure that I'm providing a really holistic education, so that it's not just your typical math and your science and your English and your, history or social studies. And so I said, those are great, and we need those core subjects. But beyond that, I think it's important to, provide these children who are bringing their own curriculum, some socialization, and a holistic education. So on top of the kids working on their own programs with teachers and specialists at their learning center in person, we're providing Spanish as an elective that, is obviously part of the program, and art. And Carrie, having an art background, jived in and said, Jocelyn, I've always wanted to do an art class. So I'm going to let Carrie take over and talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about the art piece. It's something that's in my background. It's something that I've always wanted to do. It's something that I've seen a little bit lacking as well. A lot of people have approached me in the past about teaching an art class, and it just didn't ever come to fruition. So this is going to be the opportunity to sort of work through that and explore what it is to go through a real art program, teaching a lot of the different principles, color theory, and then each semester they'll have a masterpiece and we'll do a little art show at the end. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about the art program. I feel like there's a lot of crafts and I love crafts. But this will be a very like a formal art class. So I'm very excited about that.
Well, hey, congratulations on well being able to do something you've always wanted to do, and it's happening. So
Yeah.
tip of the hat. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Jocelyn, I guess it sounds like it worked out because you have a bigger platform and there's a demand for it. It's being well received, obviously, through people like Carrie stepping up like they're doing locations, participating in it, and having their kids in it. And like it seems like you have some real nice. What's the word? I'm not. Maybe I need some education myself. Homogenization or some mixture. Like it feels like feels good. So you feel excited. The energy seems fine off it. Is there any dates or time frames or any specifics that you want to get out for somebody who might be interested? Like, is there a start date to get in and they need to bring XYZ from wherever they're from? Can you walk somebody listening through that, please?
Registration currently is open until August 15th. We're not opening this, like Carrie said, as a school. It's a learning center. We're really trying to provide quality over quantity. So there's only 15 spaces available for both part-time and full-time students. So full-time students, it's a commitment of the 10-month school year starting from September to June. And then part-time is 5 months. Doesn't matter what those 5 months can look like for families, because we know that some families come down from November to March. And, we're trying to cater to the families who really need this and who really are valuing a strong academic program. So yes, registration is open until August 15th as of now, and open to 15 students. So yeah, and then in addition to what Carrie was saying about art and Spanish as electives, to complete a holistic curriculum, we're also going to add in every other Monday, because it's a 4-day work week, if you want to call it. So it's Tuesday to Friday, the kids will be at Nosara, Playa Ponies, working on their programs with their teachers and specialists, and Carrie doing art and the Spanish teacher. But then beyond that, every other Monday, we're going to be adding in, we haven't really named a title of these, I don't think, Carrie, but kind of just like extra elective days. So for example, I had one of the parents come and say, hey, I'm a professional photographer. Can I come in and for 2 Mondays of, let's say, September, and do photography with the kids and come up with like a final project? And then, another parent said, well, I make ceramics. Can I come in for 4 Mondays and do ceramics? And then another teacher said, hey, I'm from Costa Rica. I really think it's important to give back to the community and provide some culture and some Spanish, and where did Nosara come from, and all of this kind of stuff. And I said, yes, this is how a holistic education really comes to be. So those Mondays, I think, will be a really cool way to bring the kids together in more of a social dynamic, in addition to, like I said, providing that really big holistic education.
Cool. Can I ask any negatives or fears, or like what's the other side of it? Because the vibe's good, you got this energy, you're getting fired up, you have a program. Can I ask, what's on the other side of this thing? Like, what's the thing you lay down at night, you're like, I don't know about that. Like, what are you worried about the most, if you don't mind me asking?
I think maybe not a worry, but a concern is that parents don't see the importance of accreditation versus not accreditation when it comes to middle school and high school. Because for me as an educator, even for kids in kinder to grade 5 or 6, I would still recommend accreditation, because it just becomes so much more seamless. Even if you are living in Nosara and you never plan to leave, we never know, life happens, right? So I think for me, as on the educator side, I think that would probably be the only possible concern, is that, parents don't want to do an accredited program. And that would eliminate our numbers, I guess, and, make us have a really small group, maybe to the point where it wouldn't even come to fruition. But that's not obviously our hope,
So can I give you a synopsis of what I'm hearing? Again, just
yeah,
correct me where I'm wrong. you're starting a learning center. Your main target market is not the family for the standard school, get on the bus to go to the exact same spot every single day. You never leave, and that's just their life. Then you go on one vacation a year at Christmas and then one at summer. That's not what's up. What you're saying, there's a lot of people here who move around. They still want to have a very high quality education. Your emphasis on accreditation at this point is far their future, wherever they're going to go. And you can mitigate a lot of issues if you just solve that. So you're asking people to bring wherever they're from, whatever the setup is, and you guys will follow it at the learning center to make sure they're okay. And you fully understand people aren't going to be there every single day. They're going to travel, much like Carrie explained. You guys are kind of targeting guys. I shouldn't say that. Maybe that's not the right gender thing in today's world. You ladies, I don't want to say that right either. What am I supposed to say? You people, can I say that? You educators. As educators, perfect. Your concern is reaching people and what's really needed and getting the right message to them. And in Nosara, we have a lot of people who move around. And we just did. And you're filling that. And now with the closing of another one of the schools, it seemingly seems like the right time to do what you're doing. Thanks to Carrie giving the location and stepping up and being the art teacher and also sharing a personal experience. And I'm laying it on pretty thick. Shout out to Carrie. So Jocelyn's willing to take it on. You're up in Canada, loading up and coming back here pretty soon to start. If I heard right, enrollment is till August 15th. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What did I miss?
I think the only thing that I would add is that, you know, it is open to those families who do live in Nosara, and, you know, because there is a number of families that have chosen to homeschool in Nosara, but there's no place for those kids to go. And so, of course, we want those kids to join us, even if they are, you know, primarily based in Nosara. They're, of course, more than welcome, and to get that socialization and holistic education. So I think it's not just up for those, you know, traveling families. It is open to, just like Carrie, like she's there full time, right? So it's going to work for her. So that's why we thought it'd work for others as well.
That's attention getting though, because it wouldn't matter if there were 12 schools here or even 20. If you had to go be there all the time, there's a huge demographic that's missing. And that's one of the biggest concerns for families is like, what am I going to do? We want to live the life we want to live. We want to take this chance and go to this place, but we can't quite commit to this. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. What do we do? And you're offering a beautiful solution, it sounds like.
We hope so. We hope
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out, but we're looking forward to it. I'm super excited. Carrie and I have literally spent hours upon hours putting this together, working through construction, which is super exciting, and lots of different things. So there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's going on right now, and we hope that, you know, we can meet some new families and see some familiar faces, and really get a small group of, you know, 7 to 15 kids and families that really want to delve into academics, like with Carrie and I.
Right on. Carrie, any last words from you? Anything to put out there while you have this platform?
I think Jocelyn said it all. That was excited. We're excited to have your kids.
All right. I appreciate you both coming on and sharing this and what you're doing. I hope it's well received and this works very well. Keep us posted. We'll circle up.
We will.
Same thing like we did last time. Just keep me posted. If you're going from, you're not going to have a school and so now you have a learning center, who knows what next year is going to bring at the rate y'all are going. So
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Thanks again. Any parting jokes or mean things you want to say to anybody or anything you need to get off your chest while you're out there?
Just if you have any questions, like, don't hesitate to reach out. Carrie and I are both really, you know, open people. We want to talk to you. We're normal humans. We just want to really give something to your kids that they deserve and that they can do, and to open those doors for them. So reach out. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a coffee and chat about how we can best support them.
Tell everyone where to find you, please, as we wrap this one up.
Well, you can you can learn lots about the Learning Center at solacademics.com. It's SOL and then academics.com. There's a page about a whole bunch of information there on the Learning Center. And then, of course, you can, on my website, there's my phone number. You can contact me via WhatsApp, and we can set up a call and chat. And also Carrie's on WhatsApp as well. And you can contact her through Playa Ponies.
Absolutely.
Hey, Carrie, real quick on Playa Ponies while we wrap it up. Give us a quick update, 30,000 foot overview. Fill us in on Playa Ponies and shout out, say whatever you want to say, because we haven't had you on the podcast yet. So we need to come back and do one for Playa Ponies. But while I have you here, give us a quick blast of information, pretty please.
Playa Ponies. Well, we do it all. We have a booming riding school. We have probably 30 students in our riding school. We do a competitive riding team that does 3-day eventing, which is basically like a triathlon for horses. So we do a flat day. In the competition, it's 3 different competitions in one competition. And it's super fun, super challenging. We bring international Olympic level trainers down. We have somebody coming in November. His name is Ian Rock. He's incredible. And we still do the tours, and we'll maybe start retreats again, but we're busy. Anything horse related. We eat, sleep, and drink horses. So love them. They're our babies. And come check us out. If you want to learn to ride, give us a shout out. We're doing that right now. So.
All right. Well, we'll come back and do an episode, because Playa Ponies is a cool story. As we're winding this one down, how are you guys going to create more time in a day? Because it doesn't sound like you're very bored.
But this is, you know what? Honestly, this is actually part of the reason is that during COVID, I was super busy. So I had lessons all day long, riding lessons, because people were out, not in school. And so now my window for teaching is between 3, after when the kids get out of school, between 3 to 5, because it's dark and then rainy. And so the school will also provide that option for the kids to be in the riding classes, and it'll give us more time. That's the plan.
Yeah. And also too, like, I think some of the kids who are not necessarily just doing riding, but some kids who are, joining the Learning Center are competitive riders, or they're competitive surfers, or, they're really getting into skating, and they want to have more time outside of quote unquote school time to focus on those hobbies and those interests and those desires. And that's also where, when children are working on their own online school or homeschool curriculum, there's so much focused attention that they don't necessarily need a full day from 8 until 3:30 to work on that program. And so it's also catering to those children who have, decided on a certain avenue that they're really interested in, and to look at that more deeply.
That's good to know. I appreciate you both. Thanks so much. Good luck. Keep us posted, and good luck. And thank you for what you're doing. They say no good deed goes unpunished, and you're doing a lot of good deeds. So I hope the self-fulfillment and the fiscal side of it all work, because I know it's hard. You need money, and Nosara is not exactly cheap. And
no,
I get it. So I know you're facing, maybe mountain sounds bad, but you're facing a mountain, not a molehill, and it's awesome what you're doing. So much respect. How are you going to handle the backlash? Oh, they're just trying to steal from Del Mar. They're trying to steal from the Playhouse. They're trying to steal from XYZ. How do you handle that? Because I work inside the belly of the beast. I'm known as Surfing Nosara rich in real estate. And the reality is I just do that job because it's the only thing I know to do that let me live here for this long, to have kids and all that stuff. Right. People don't know the truth, but they think they know. You know what I mean? Like, people think they know. Now they think they know you, is what I'm trying to say. And they might not really know where your heart's coming from. Like, how do you deal with that? It's not the easiest place for me to live. It's something I struggle with every day.
No.
Yeah. No, you know what? I think, like, Carrie and I have talked about this too. And I mean, Rich, you know me, at least from an academic point of view, and I am in no way a kind of person that is like a competitive person in regards to like stealing clients or stealing students, or like in any capacity. That's totally not what I want to do. I love to teach. I have such a passion for it. I love kids, and I just really want to offer something that the community really needs. And I think Carrie and I have really stuck to our guns about that, of just like, if we do hear backlash, we're just like, yeah, well, that's okay. They can think that. They don't really know me. They don't know Carrie. They don't know really what we're offering. You know, people's gossip in Nosara is just like beyond this world. And I think Carrie and I have made a point of just like sticking to our guns and like, this is what we're doing.
You know, the thing is that it is something different. I'm a parent, so I know all the options. I've studied everything. The public school is not an option for Maya at this point. I tried it with Ava, my youngest. It doesn't work. Del Mar is out of my pocketbook. I cannot afford it. They don't make exceptions for families working hard. And that's all there is to it. Like even if I wanted to send Maya there, I couldn't. So my only other option is homeschool if I want my in an accredited program with a Spanish focus. That's it. So I had to create it myself and went to Jocelyn because I know, she's just incredible. When Maya was with her doing the tutoring, it's like, and she's professional and focused. And I was like, that's what we need to head up this program. So I'm happy to take any criticisms, but we're not budging on what we're doing and what we're offering. And we know that people will appreciate once the ball gets rolling. I think, like you said, the different fears that we have is, I think, because it's not already happening, that it's like, people are like, is it going to, they want to see what's happening, what's already going on, which is why I contacted Jocelyn. I already run a very full, very busy program. So I feel like, and Jocelyn, she's very full. She's very busy. She has her own thing going on. She's super successful. So I know it'll work, but I do feel that some parents will just kind of, they want to wait and see what other people are doing.
Yeah. That all makes sense. That all makes sense. You said, what was it you said earlier that caught my attention? I was thinking that old quote, necessity is the mother of all invention.
Yes.
And the last couple of moments, you just, I think, did a beautiful thesis statement for you and clarifying and eliminating a lot of the backlash and a lot of the immediate response. A lot of time it's like, wait, this other, you're trying to compete with them or you compete with that. Wait, that's not right. I'm with them. I'm not with them. Ever since I moved to Nosara, it was very, how to say it? Like there's camps. Like you came in through this realtor, you had this attorney, or that's your yoga instructor, this your surf instructor, or just insert whatever category. It's the same situation. You kind of stay in that island, and Nosara is advanced enough to where we need to be way past that. It's 2023. We have kids, a lot of kids who need educations, and you can't afford this school, that school closed, this other thing, and accreditation. Like you're hitting something that is very much needed at the right time. So I like your chances. I think the hardest is going to be the beginning. And if you can get through those walls of dissension and all the BS, if you can get through that at the beginning, I think you're going to have a lot smoother sailing, just like Carrie said. I really think some parents will see it, then it works. And then you'll find out all those people who other people think are your competition and enemies might end up supporting you and to be a great source of business back and forth. Because not everybody needs the right fit for this. And if everyone communicates, how it actually can work. Imagine now I'm breaking rule number one. I'm starting to make sense. My rule number one of living here is don't make sense. So you guys are making sense of something that's very, very important. And again, I appreciate you both. Thanks for talking about it. I learned a lot, and I'll try to preach your gospel, and we'll get it out.